my oldest son, who was in the Marines, and he put him up in his room. We still never thought anything of it. He never really talked about the military until, I want to say, sometime in high school.
Yeah, it was junior year in high school. I took him down to Buzzards Bay to the, academy there. And all the services were presenting. And he was most impressed with the Navy.
And then from there, it's just he never looked back. He was his one thing on his mind.
Yeah.
So he did get accepted into the Merchant Marine Academy, and that's where he went. And he was starting to have inklings that he wanted to be a pilot then. Yeah.
His goal was to become a pilot, even though he was trained as a Marine, engineer. And was always top of the class in everything he did.
He had tremendous stamina. He loved flying. He would send us pictures upside down, left, right.
Yeah, and he also loved skydiving. And I just would say that we were really surprised that he was being, chosen, selected, and we were very pleased. We were, that someone would be interested.
I remember asking him, I was just kind of playing the devil's advocate, saying, Chris, why do you want to fly jets and drop bombs and shoot? And he said, well, Dad, there's some bad people in the world and they want to hurt us. And this was right after, I want to say 9/11. And it just shut me right up. I mean, I had nothing else I could say.
So he was amazing. He was a great athlete. He was a lover of everyone, no matter who you were, what you did. If you were sometimes mean, if you were a bully, he would just change your way. He was just that great of a person. He was the president of his high school senior year. He was the quarterback. He was the basketball player, the baseball star, just all around a great, great person to be around. Loved everybody. Really, really funny, class clown, which I got my senior year, so I was very happy of that. I think it is absolutely beautiful. There's other monuments with his name on it or dedications. There's a beautiful fallen soldier monument in Boston, and it's stunning. I walk by it when I'm in the city, and obviously it brings a tear to my eye, but knowing that it's always gonna be there it's amazing. And I have there's other dedications at Adams Field, because he was a baseball player. And I always think of because he was a crazy athlete, and so knowing that this is gonna be here forever, it's just brings me so many emotions, and I'm so proud that it's gonna be there. The only word I can think of is legendary, because he's literally all over this city, and everyone knows his name. So I hope his name will carry on generations to come.
Mac is our youngest. He's 8 and 11 years younger than our other two children. And he was all of our baby when he was born, and he was just so funny and had such a beautiful smile from day one. He was just so much fun.
Mac was on the fast track in the Army. He decided he wanted to be a Ranger, so he signed a contract with the Army to complete his tags, Army Ranger tags, in a certain amount of time. But he was excited to be a Ranger, which he always wanted to be. As soon as he signed up, he wanted to be a Ranger. So he went in and he became a sergeant by 23 years old, which is unheard of.
Actually 21 when he got it. Any training they were offering, he took. He trained for anything they offered. He was at it. He was doing it.
We were all very proud of Mac on his service and how quick he became a sergeant in the Rangers.
And to me, it was just that he was so funny, no matter what. He always made a joke of everything, and usually they were pretty funny. Sometimes, maybe a little not. He loved his son, he loved his wife, he loved his family, and that was who he was.
Seeing how happy he was to be a ranger and how much it really fulfilled him made it easy to support him in that. It was always fun getting pictures from him at work and him in his uniform and getting ready to go jump out of a plane or whatever he was doing for the day, blowing things up. Just those things that are like, a little boy's dream. That was what he loved doing, and it was his job and he was good at it, and I was proud of him for it. And it was New Year's Eve. We were running to a friend's house for a party, and he got a call that he had to go into work and wasn't sure if he was going to come home the next day or be in another country by the new year. So that was, so things like that were hard, but it was easy to be proud of him for how dedicated he was to his job and how much he loved serving his country. But to know that my son will be able to come to a city where his dad grew up, where we met, where we dated, where we went to church together, where we got married, and kind of see his father's name on a memorial, that really means a lot. And to just know that, he'll be remembered for more.
Well, Kira and I were very close in age. She's 2 years older than me, so she was always kind of like the bigger sister. Of course, we're a big family, so she was always kind of like the protector also. Me being younger, probably more timid, she was the one who was always watching out. So even if it just wasn't for me, it would be for other people in the neighborhood. She was always somebody who was taking care of others. Like so many other people, when 9/11 happened, it was an impetus for so many to want to serve their country. With Kira serving, it was always a sense from everybody in the family, just a lot of pride that somebody was giving so much and contributing to a larger cause that was that meant so much to so many people. I was younger, probably 19, and I just broke up out of a relationship, and I was, devastated about it. So, of course, first person I called, and I told her I was at her house, and, can she come over? And she said yes. The doorbell rings. She ran from her, where she was, like far away, to come just to be with me. So it's almost emblematic of, the type of service people have just ingrained in them, to have her name on this monument. The family roots are pretty deep here in Quincy, so having her name there means that everybody who subsequently comes out of the generations of our family, and it's many, will always know that at home in Quincy, Kira's name will always be there.
The one thing that he was like is that he, in his mind, he always wanted fairness, justice for people. If he saw somebody being hollered at by another, like a bully, he'd step in. And he was kind of a small kid, and he wasn't really able. He wasn't able to really take over, but he would. He'd go in and he'd try to grab him, and he'd, try to fight, and he'd usually land on the ground. But he always had to step in if he saw wrong things happening to people. And he was very compassionate. He was very loving with children, with the nieces and the nephews. Oh, he loved to hold them and play with them.
Yeah, just an ordinary kid growing up. And then to have this happen, It's unbelievable, really. It's hard to think about it, you know? Just a regular kid. It's like most of my students, they're regular kids, but then later on, they become all these important people. You can't believe it, you know?
It's wonderful.
Yeah. They recognize me, but I don't recognize them.
Well, first of all, it's really a surprise. And Charlie and I did travel down and the other day to see where it was. And when we saw it and saw his name written and the beauty of the monument, we both started to cry. We were just so it didn't seem like we deserved it, I guess. But I know Todd would be so thrilled, and we just so thankful.
Well, it was very difficult at first after he passed. And as each year passes, it got easier. But there's that special place in your mind, in your heart. It's like a room you lock away. And sometimes you visit it, but it's very painful.